The US dollar, the Japanese yen, the British pound sterling, and the euro will all collapse. That I am 100% sure of. So, a lot of you are going to say, oh, that is just sensationalism just to get people to watch your video. But no, it is actually a fact. Every single fiat currency in history has collapsed. So it is a fact that all those currencies will collapse. Now, the question is whether it will collapse in our lifetime or whether it will collapse in our children's lifetime. So even if it doesn't collapse in our lifetime, it's a horrible legacy to leave to your kids if you have kids, if it's going to collapse in the next generation. But I say actually that these currencies will likely collapse in the next 5 years. Now, a lot of people say that is ludicrous again, but it's only because the banking controlled educational system has kept certain facts from you that would lead you to ask the proper questions so you get the right answers. Because if you're asking the wrong questions, you are not going to get the right answers. You're going to get the wrong answers. And that's what 99% of people today are doing. They're asking the wrong questions. So is it improbable or probable that all those currencies, those global currencies I named, are going to collapse within the next 5 years? I'd say it's highly probable. Why? If you look at a study, again, we're just looking at facts, of 775 fiat currencies. The average lifespan of all those currencies is 27 years. 27 years. So already the dollar has far exceeded that, having the U.S. Fed Reserve, the private central bank, that cartel, the criminal private banking cartel that has now ruined the U.S. dollar, has caused it to lose over 98% of its value in 100 years. That has far exceeded the average 27-year lifespan. So it is more likely that it is nearing its deathbed and going to be 6 feet under within the next 5 years than less likely. I would give it over a 50-50 chance. In fact, I'll probably give it over a 75% chance that the dollar will see its death within the next 5 years, along with all those other currencies. Now, the longest lasting fiat reserve currency ever was the British pound sterling, founded in 1694. But back then it was worth 12 ounces of silver. So if you're looking at real physical silver, remember even though the physical silver price is less than 22 now, it's going to cost you more than $26 for a 2012 Canadian silver maple leaf coin. So real physical silver, can 1 pound buy you 12 silver maple leaf coins? I don't think so. So if we are going to say longest lasting means successful, I don't think so. Just because it's lasted over 300 years, it's still lost over 99.5% of its value. That is an utter failure any way you look at it. Because if you look at the websites of every central bank, every major central bank in the world, they say their objective is price stability, meaning that it should have retained 99.5% of its value over the last 300 years. That would be price stability. Instead, it has lost 99.5% of its value. So if you understand true monetary history, you understand the likelihood is very, very, in fact, there is no doubt that all these global fiat currencies today will collapse. There's 100% chance, 100% chance, not in 99.5, not in 99.8, not in 99.99999% chance. There's 100% chance from monetary history, because all fiat currencies backed by nothing have failed over time. All 775, actually I think there's more, but there's 775 in this study, but I know every single fiat currency in history has collapsed, and the average lifespan has only been 27 years. So we're looking at the last legs of a lot of these major global currencies. Why have they failed? It's because it's a criminal system. It's a fraudulent system it's based upon. That's why they all utterly fail. So, when you look at, I've been telling people it's going to fail, and a lot of people still think that's ludicrous, even after they listen to this video and they've seen the facts. But remember that when I started blogging 7 years ago, I said there was massive fraud and criminality created by the big global banks like HSBC, like JP Morgan, like Goldman Sachs, like Citigroup, like Deutsche Bank in the gold markets. And well, likely those banks, because those are the big bullion banks that committed fraud in the past. But we know JP Morgan is a custodian for the SLV, HSBC is a custodian for the GLD. So you know at least those two banks at a minimum are committing massive fraud in gold and silver. And people said, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory. But look at what is accepted now. It's accepted as fact, because even if you look at this past week when the big bullion banks were hammering down gold and silver every day at COMEX Open in New York, you had 2 million ounces of gold sold off in, I believe, 30 minutes, which is ridiculous because that is over a couple $1 billion worth of gold. You had 600,000 ounces of gold sold off in just a couple minutes again. And that, I believe, because I know there was one huge order at least from this prior week, not this week, but the week prior, that was sold in market. The order was actually a market order, which is crazy. You're selling 600,000 ounces at market. That's just sell at whatever price it will be filled at. You're selling that many, dumping that many ounces for sale onto the market once. Obviously, the price is going to go lower. So obviously, anyone that executes such an order is not trying to make as much money as possible. In fact, they're trying to make as little money as possible because you know that's going to drive the price down. You just fill it at whatever price I can get. So, but the reason they do that is because it's all paper. There's not a single ounce of real physical gold being sold. It's all fraud. So look at the things that I've said in the past that have taken other people 6 years to catch up and realize, oh yeah, maybe there is truth to that now. So what I'm saying today, though, I think you're going to have a lot major devaluation of all these currencies in the next 12 to 18 months. So you can't wait if you wait 5 to 6 years, you're going to go from being a paper millionaire in something, the euro, the dollar, or whatever, if you have lots of your wealth stored in fiat currency, to basically joining the poverty class. So that's what's going to happen to you. So just understand that, and then understand this week over the next month I'm going to be releasing lots more videos like this. Understand that the reason you do not understand this, the reason it took 6 years for people to even get my point about the fraud committed by these banks and the criminality committed by these banks in gold and silver futures markets and paper markets, and the difference between real physical gold and paper silver, is because you have not been taught this in school. You have been taught a bunch of lies in school and not the truth. So that's why it takes people so long to understand what the truth is in reality. Okay, thanks again for watching. As always, like I said too, don't believe just what I say. If you don't believe it, do your own research, so at least you can come to your own conclusion of whether what I am telling you is true or whether you don't believe it. Okay, so make up your own mind, but do your own research and stay intensely curious. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Take care until next time. So long.